Hey, so you guys know that thing that's going on in the Middle East? The one where it has caused the price of everything on the planet to go up? The one where thousands have lost their lives? You know, the thing that's broken many of our strained relationships with our allies. Well, with negotiations breaking down once again and the pew pew part of the war spooling right back up in Iran, Donald Trump, our president, called CNBC and said, quote, "I really don't care. I couldn't care less." And he said that the negotiations, quote, started to get very boring. Very boring.
And so that's what I asked the president about. I said, do you think the negotiations are over now, or is this a bluff by the Iranians? The president said, I don't care if they're over, honestly. I really don't care. I couldn't care less. If they're over, they're over. If they're not, I think they took too much time. Frankly, I think they started to get a little boring.
What's boring to Donald Trump is this. 13 American service members are dead. Roughly 380 wounded. 13 families getting a folded flag. And on the Iranian side, their health ministry, and again, I don't necessarily trust everything they say, but they count more than 3,400 dead, including kids, including infants, and tens of thousands wounded. And whatever you think of Iran, which they are not great, but the ones that have lost their lives are real people. And I can tell you, their families are not bored like our damn president. So, of course, at 1 a.m, Donald Trump gets on Truth Social to tell everybody why none of this is his fault. He starts off by saying Iran really wants to make a deal. It's something that he's been saying since March 9th? And since then, he said it 10 times, a dozen times or more, that they're this close to a deal. It's like when your ex from college kept telling you different versions of, I can change, I promise. And then Donald Trump goes on in this same post for the war he started to blame the Democrats. He switched the E to a U, so it's Democrats. That's the most powerful man on the earth, staying up past midnight to type out such a winning joke, Democrats. No word on if the president gave the raspberry or na boo boo while typing. And Trump also blames the seemingly unpatriotic Republicans that are against the war. And this comes from the America First guy. But every single time an actual American puts the country's interests first, whether it's gas prices, our troops' lives, the actual cost, Donald Trump has a problem with it. Because it's never about America first. It is and always will be Trump first. But the part that's really scary to me here, Donald Trump, the thing that he's complaining the most about in this post, he says that he cannot do his job because people keep chirping at him. Chirping, like criticism. This man pretends to be the most powerful person on the planet, and he actually commands the largest army on the planet, and he cannot survive a bad review. Every athlete on earth learns to tune out the crowd by age 16. Yet Donald Trump hears one heckle, and it can set him off at the hour normally reserved for infomercials and regretfully stress-eating an entire pint of Ben & Jerry's. People do that with Ben & Jerry's, the dirt cake flavor, allegedly. And it's not me, I promise. But if this is how Donald Trump handles Iran, picture somebody like China. Think about the advantage that they would have. They wouldn't even need their missiles. They would just need to write a check to the right guy who will show up on Fox News and say mean things about the president. It would set him off. And then this deal, the deal that Donald Trump is bragging about, by every account, the best case scenario here is that we end up with essentially the same deal that Obama put out there, that Donald Trump has spent years railing about. Except now, we get that same deal after Donald Trump wrecked our economy and our gas prices to get there. And then there's the fund, Of course there's money. $300 billion proposed for Iran. America first, right? For reconstruction, the places we blew up. And look, our own diplomats, they won't say the words reparations out loud. So somebody's rebranding it as an international investment fund. And this investment fund is reportedly cooked up by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, the two real estate guys who Donald Trump somehow put in charge of negotiating global peace. So of course, there's an investment fund. I mean, you hand Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner a war, and all they see is a groundbreaking ceremony at all of the resorts that they want to sell spots to. And Trump, who spent a decade screaming that Obama flew pallets of cash to Iran, posts that no money will be exchanged until further notice. Until further notice, which means when Witkoff and Kushner's portfolios need a boost. I mean, you want the real number here, though? There is a cost to this war. There is a running tab. There are people keeping track. And you can look this up. A group called Win Without War, and they've been around for a while, they put up a live ticker of what this war is actually costing us. And there is a petition right on it, you can sign it, that will help stop the supplemental funding for the war in Iran. And that website is iran-cost-ticker.com. Go look at it. Watch that number climb while our president is busy telling you he's bored. And at the end of his post, I don't even have words for this, but I'm going to try. Just sit back and relax. It'll all work out in the end. It always does. And he's right about one thing. I mean, it does always work out. For Donald Trump, at least. He profits, his family profits, the oil guys profit, and you're going to pay $4.50 at the pump and watch soldiers be buried. But it's always going to work out for the Cheeto-in-Chief. And while you were watching the war, I've got to remind you of this. The Epstein files, the reason that we think that Donald Trump might have started this war, I remember the Epstein files, you remember the Epstein files, but most people don't. Just look at the search interest in searches like Epstein files or Epstein Trump. Those searches peaked in February and they have fizzled out to basically nothing now. So yeah, it always works out because the war of Epstein distraction has worked out in the end for Donald Trump. Funny how a war shows up right when the questions get loud about your relationship with a child trafficker. And stories like this are why I am asking you to subscribe, comment, like, share, anything. Any interaction helps us make sure that stories like this stay in front of the people that need to see them.